Hello, good morning. The Melon Man here. Today I'm working with Alkalize to Realize. I'm working for Lee Robert Molson and the page Alkalize to Realize Talks. Alkalize to Realize Talks is a Facebook page that is all about sharing the truth, the empowering truth of natural healing, health, wealth, abundance, love. They're all of you. They're all in your control. Today, I'm waiting on a call with Maria K. Maria K is living in Eastern Europe somewhere. I don't want to say wrong. Czech Republic. I think we'll confirm that when we catch her on the call. She is a coach. She's a coach in Eastern Europe. So I'm a coach in Canada, and I'm looking forward to having a high energy call with Maria this morning. I'm looking forward to growing. I'm looking forward to elevating my frequency. I'm always trying to elevate my frequency because I know that it's all about frequency. All right, here we go. Yes, I have. Good morning.
Hello. How are you?
Great. I'm very blessed, very excited to have a chance to talk with you today. I'm calling from Alkalize to Realize Talks. I'm a friend of Lee Robert Molson. Do you know Lee?
We've not met. We've just had a few words distantly.
Okay. So I have met Lee. He's a fantastic soul. He's we're all about, everyone involved with our page is involved with trying to raise the consciousness of our planet, trying to raise the frequency and vibration of our planet.
Wonderful. That's what we need.
I believe you're engaging in that as well too. You're a coach, so you try to help people.
I would say so. Yeah. Coaching is one element of what I do, but I also believe, probably like you, it's about living by example as well.
So it's about being.
Doing the inner work as well, because we can coach people till the cows come home, but as well, it's a beautiful fusion of it all. But yeah.
So we as coaches have to be demonstrating. We have to lead by example, don't we?
100%. Yeah. Be the change, as Gandhi said.
I love it. And I recognize from, having 3 children that my children don't do what I say, but they do what I do.
That's exactly it. You got it right there. Yeah. Words don't teach. As
No,
Abraham said.
You can say things all you want till you're blue in your face. Until you're doing it yourself, no one is going to listen.
Sure. Yeah.
So in order to inspire others, you'd have to be inspired yourself.
That's it.
So Maria, where do you live?
I split my time between Goa, India, and the UK.
Oh, wow.
Among a few other countries, but those are my 2 bases.
Wow. Yeah. You're between Goa, India, and the UK. So you have a place in both.
I am British-born Greek Cypriot. So I was born in the UK. I lived there for a chunk of my life. I've also lived in Cyprus, where my roots are. And then in 2014, I relocated to India for most of the year, and we would duck out for the heavy monsoon rains. And recently, my children are growing up, so they wanted to continue with their studies. So it means we've got a little bit more, one more foot in the UK more of the time. But my happy place is here.
Is here in India.
Yes, Goa.
So you're
Yeah,
in
I mean,
India right now.
I am. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. So are you married?
Am I married? I am almost married. Yeah,
Oh,
engaged to be
wow. Okay.
married.
Incredible. Incredible. And you said you have children. How many children do you have?
I have two, and they are grown up-ish. Yes, they're 17 and 18.
But you're only 19.
Oh, come on. No, I'm not. Yeah, no. How old are your children?
My children are 17 and 16 and 9.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. And how old are you?
How old am I? I am 42.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. And you've been a coach for how long?
Well, my it's been an evolutionary journey. So doing what I'm doing now has evolved organically
Me too.
from, yeah. So I have been, let's say, in the helping, supporting, caring, inspiring profession or business, let's say, all my life, to be honest. So if you read my book and, sort of other
Oh,
bits and
you're an
pieces, you'll
author.
get I am, yeah.
What's your
So
book?
my book is I Am Upgrading.
Oh, wow. I am upgrading.
Yes,
Amazing. I
yes.
love the title already. The power. Can you please tell
Cool,
me about the
good.
power of I am?
I am, yeah, exactly. It's an affirmation in and of itself, and it requires nothing else. It's enough to attach a word to it, whichever one feels resonant with us, then it amplifies. It's like this big sort of scientific, explosion in a good way. So the reason I use the term upgrading, it's just code really for ascension. It's code for transformation. It's code for awakening. It's code for healing. It's
Raising your
code for,
frequency, raising your
yeah,
vibration, elevating yourself,
exactly.
higher self,
Yes,
stepping into your higher self.
yes. Creating the life that you truly desire. So it is, a lot of people see or hear the word and think, oh, it means, she's going to make me millions, or she's going to get me rich, or she's going to, and
Abundance is a part of
whatever
it.
that, if that's something that resonates with somebody, then perfect, let's do it. Absolutely. But there's more to it than just 5-star living, opulent living, first class. There is, I had a client once who, when she first came to me, her main intention, her goal, her real deep desire was to have a flexible enough schedule that would allow her to spend a few mornings a week. She didn't want to necessarily need it to be every morning, but a few mornings a week, drinking her coffee with time to spare in her garden without having to rush off somewhere or be under pressure or be under stress. So that for her, when we got her to that point, was an absolute upgrade. So it could be anything for anyone, really.
And
And
to get the time like that, what's required for someone to get that time and control back in their life? What gives them freedom like that?
it would be different for anyone, but let's look at it in general terms. We want to look, first of all, at how people are spending their time. Very often, we've all done it, right? We fill our days, we fill our weeks, we follow the crowd. When
Guilty.
it's December, there's no time because we've all done it, right? At the calendar, at what people are prioritizing and why. We always dig beneath the surface, and very often we find that a bunch of time frees up because the things that we're doing, that people are doing, actually, when we start to upgrade and start to become more conscious of the choices we're making and the things we're focusing on, the goals that we're setting, it's all about raising the consciousness, shining the light. Quite quickly things begin to sort of fall away, and instantly you've got not only a bunch of extra time, but you've got flexibility. You start seeing things completely differently, which means there's room for movement. There's room to rearrange.
It's a
So
change
that's
of
just
perspective.
one
It's a change of
starting point, really.
perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Nice. It's like looking at your life in a different way. I mean, Wayne Dyer said, change the way you look at your world and your world will begin to change.
Something like that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's because we're using the creative force within us through our thoughts, through our words, through our eyes, through our senses to engage with our world. And if we change the way we look and think about our world, therefore the world begins to change, because it's through our minds, through our eyes, through our ears, through our senses, through our feeling, that we change our world.
And the expectation and the possibilities as well. You know, when someone says, actually, you have permission to want something different, right? It's okay that you
You're breaking up there. I'm missing what you're saying. I'm not sure if you can hear me, but I can't hear you right now. I'm sorry, I'm not able to hear what you're saying right now. We've got a loss of contact. We've got a loss of, I'm not hearing this. This is not
different.
coming through.
And so we start to explore, like you say, more possibilities.
That's unfortunate.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Hello, I'm sorry that our contact is very broken this morning. We are a good 11 hours apart. Maria K is in India and I am in Toronto, where it doesn't seem like we're getting a really good signal here today. We're getting a lot of interruption. Hello? Maria? Hello there.
My phone rang.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay. You're going to cut that bit out.
Okay. we'll cut that. We'll cut that bit.
I have no idea. Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. All good? You can hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Good.
I'm not sure if you can copy back maybe some of the things that you were saying there.
What were we saying? Okay.
I think we were talking about definitely changing the way we look at our world, having permission to change the way we look at our world, and having permission to, you know, we are the creators,
Yes.
so we have the right
Yes.
to change the way we engage with our world, don't we?
Yes. So when somebody is pointed in a direction where they start to realize that they have permission to want something new, to want something different, something that perhaps has been buried deeply into, box away our dreams, we box away our wants, our desires, and sometimes it takes a crisis, or it takes a big moment of like me, and we'll be like, hey, what is it that you really want? That's one of my favorite moments there, when I'm first talking to somebody and they in awe of actually who they truly are within. So as you said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So when you first start to get up close and personal with a lot of those very hidden true desires that we have, everything around us changes. The whole world changes. The possibilities open. It's like literally someone opens a big set of double doors that we didn't even know existed.
A lot of
And
people
that,
have
as you
these
said,
suppressed desires that they don't even know they've got these desires until you kind of coax them out of it, get them to speak about what they truly want. People
yes,
suppress their desires about what they truly want because they believe they can't have it.
yes, absolutely. It's something that is, I would say, I'd say it's a pandemic on the planet, actually. Most people are walking around with some kind of suppression, and it's okay. It's okay. It's not wrong.
No,
But
it's not wrong. It's not right or
yeah,
wrong.
it's not. Yeah, exactly. But
Choice.
someday, when the time is right, people like you and I are there to help draw it out and to create strategies and journeys where it gradually converting what is deeply buried into an actual life that we wake up to on a daily basis and get to actually experience and live.
Speaking of pandemics, I think we've got to speak about the pandemic. We can't avoid that elephant in the room, can we?
We have a choice. If you'd like to speak about it, we can, for sure.
I think we best put some time toward it. Let's give it some attention.
Okay. Yes. Are you asking me?
What's happening in the world?
I'm not qualified to sort of make sweeping statements like that. I think that everything in life, everything in the universe, everything in the world, everything within us and without us is multifaceted, multi-leveled, multi-layered. There are, I would say, uncountable truths in existence in any given moment.
Yes.
So who are we to say this is only what's happening and this is only truth?
That's
so
right.
In my understanding, in the way that I perceive everything, there are more than one possibility in any given moment. What I have been speaking about with my community, this is what I am an expert on, and I can really positively and confidently speak about this, is how can we, as transforming, upgrading, ascending beings, take back our power in this moment.
Wonderful.
And so what I've been saying, is take the protect and keep yourself and your family and your loved ones and your community safe, number one. But then let's look at, take this opportunity to turn inwards and to become super present with how we are reacting as an individual. How am I reacting? Am I, for example, getting
I've lost you again.
hooked into the drama? Am I allowing myself to get distracted from my projects, from my am I allowing myself to become distracted or hooked into the drama? Am I allowing myself to become to take my finger off the pulse, perhaps, from my projects that I promised myself, early on in January, that I'm going to really sort of turn this around this year? Whatever it might be for somebody, whether it's a health and wellness journey, whether it's sort of going to the gym or exercising or writing that book or launching that business or being more present with the family, whatever it might be, we've all got something that we're improving, right? And the question is, are we just going to allow something that might be happening out there? Because not everybody is experiencing something in the home. And if they are, then of course that's going to be the first priority, to nurture themselves and get well or take care of loved ones. But if at the moment all that we're dealing with is sort of the mass media ongoing and as you know, everything else is going on, the conversation that I want to bring up to everybody is take this opportunity to know how you react. So there's the train going by in the distance. Not sure if it's quite loud. I'll just wait for it to go by. So I was saying, take the opportunity to go on a journey of inner self-exploration. Observe how not only we are reacting on an external, so what we're saying, the conversations perhaps that we're getting hooked into, but also our thoughts, our habits. Do we keep going back to the same website, checking for the same for facts or updates every hour or every 10 minutes? And is that distracting us from what we truly could be doing that might bring about positive change for us and our loved ones on a larger scale? And also what I've been saying is, hey, vibration comes first. So it doesn't matter how many times you're going to wash your hands or how self-isolating you may decide to be. If we are consumed with fear and worry and anxiety, we are by default in danger by allowing our immune system to drop, because low vibration
vibration makes you
susceptible
unwell
to ill health or less than optimal state. And I've also said to my community, wellness isn't something that means not being sick. Wellness is also equal to thriving. So once this is all blown over, we can all start looking at how we can really take care of ourselves better. How can we really fill our cup on a daily basis? What changes do we need to make moving forward that are going to be kind to our mind, body, soul?
Awesome. Maria, could you please expand that and now go forward with what does a person that wants to improve their life, improve their vibration, raise their frequency, be more healthy, be more vibrant, be more abundant, being more loving, what do they need to do on a daily basis in order for that to happen? What do you suggest? What do you share?
I will not be able to, I'm not being negative here, give a blanket generic, something that someone could take away and just follow and that's it. But I can give some tips. The first place to start is, and this is what I usually do with, a client that comes in and they want to start working with me, is that we start to look at what they want to create in their life. So what do you want to create more of? Pardon?
Talking about your own personal goals, what it is that you want is a key element of it.
Yeah. And often it can, a lot of discomfort and unrest can come from not knowing, not having a direction, feeling unsettled, feeling unfulfilled, not knowing, not seeing really any future or any light at the end of the tunnel. It's sort of looking around and sort of thinking, well, is this it?
A lack of motivation, no inspiration.
Yeah. And so I would say, if you haven't already got some clarity, now I say some because we're never going to gather all the clarity all in one go. It is something like sort of opening up the faucet and allowing it to drip a little each day. And that's all we need, a little inspiration, a little clarity, a little bit of knowing every day. And from that inspiration, that clarity, we can then take the next step. So a lot of us get overwhelmed when we might have a little nudge or a little piece of clarity, but we can't see the rest of the picture. We can't see the bigger picture. And so, first of all, spend some time getting really honest with yourself. What do you want? And I'm sure most of us off the bat will have 1, 2, or 3 things that we know we'd like to change or create or bring into our lives, or even let go of, whether it's, losing a habit, shifting the way that we perhaps, I was going to say the way that we perhaps relate to our loved ones, right? It could be anything across the board. And it doesn't have to be something that's out there. It can be, I simply want to experience more inner peace. I want to wake up in the morning and be able to take a deep breath without
More joy,
anxiety,
more
or go to sleep at
happiness.
night without the worries go round and round.
Letting go of worries. Yes, wonderful.
Yeah. So some clarity. And if you start, then the next step would be strategy. We've got to create a strategy so we know
What's
when we
the
wake up in the
action
morning
plan?
what
What are
we've
we
got
going to
to
do to
do.
make that come into reality?
Yeah. Yes. So creating a tangible, realistic strategy. In my book, I talk all about that, and I've outlined the different types of action. I won't go into it all now because it's something that someone needs to sit with and just sort of read through. Really simple though, not at all complicated, but there are different types of actions. I'll just name them, and then if you want to go read further, you can. Directly related upgrade actions, and then there are the indirectly related ones. And create a plan. And I like to work in 21 days, 30 days, or 40 days, whatever feels good to a person. And that way, it can be fun. It can be okay. So I can check the days off, whether it's I'm going to do 20 sit-ups in the morning, or I'm going to make sure that I start my day with a glass of water instead of a coffee. And once I've had my water, then I'll have my coffee. Or I'm going to make sure that I write book, or whatever, right? It's simple, bite-sized pieces. So strategy, once we have clarity, we try and run before we can walk. We want to set ourselves up for success, right? Set yourself up for success. And that means it might take a little bit longer. So it might mean doing less of whatever it is, but we want it to fit in nicely with your existing life. We want it to be a little bit of a stretch, but not so overwhelming that within 6 days you're going to walk away and jack it in.
I
Quit.
think that's wonderful,
Yeah.
Cher. A lot of people, when they come into my space, they're trying to lose weight and they want to do it as quickly as possible. So they want to exercise like crazy and cut their calories like crazy and change everything kind of overnight. And that's not really the best success strategy.
Yeah. I lost you. Did you ask me a question?
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I was saying that a lot of people they try to come in too hot. They come in too fast. I mean,
Yeah.
they're so upset with things as they are that they want to take a 180-degree turn and go the other way. And I encourage people. It's not going to happen overnight.
No,
There is no fast way to make changes in your life. That's the truth. Like you can force something to be, but it won't become a part of your thoughts, words, habits, behavior
100%.
in life in a faster way because you're forcing yourself to do something.
100%. And that's where you and I come in as coaches, as mentors, to reassure people and to always be one step ahead of them, because we know change management. We know that I have studied this for many, many years, almost 2 decades. And I know the pitfalls. I know what's likely to happen. And so once we've got clarity and certainty and a vision and a dream and an idea and truthful
a realistic plan has been established,
a
something that's
truthful
attainable.
vision of what the strategy. It's through the able to, yeah, we will then be able to draw out their tendencies, their limiting behaviors, their mindset perhaps that needs tweaking. So we've got to look at it from both ways, that it's all very well making a plan and sort of sending them off, but through the action phase is where we get to harness a lot of important information that perhaps from their past attempts at success in whatever arena haven't been addressed. And so with these nuggets of truth, with these revelations, with any past, anything from the past really causing them pain and struggle and potentially stopping them really from succeeding.
Yes, I'm sorry. We're just getting so interrupted with the sound. It's unfortunate because I think you're saying some things that are so very important and so valuable for all of my network to hear, and of course all of the Alkalies to Realize network to hear. It's unfortunate that our contact today is being interrupted.
Yeah, such is life.
Such is life.
They have a saying in India, all is well.
All is well. I like it. I like it. So now I'm not sure. I mean, Lee pointed me in your direction. So I wonder if you are doing anything in the realm of detoxification, or if you're doing anything with regards to fasting, if you're doing anything with regards to distilled water.
Not distilled water. The closest I would come to that is during my retreats in Goa. I offer an opportunity. So the diet is a vegan diet, vegan or vegetarian for those people who don't want to follow vegan. And I encourage taking a break from caffeine and alcohol and any refined foods. This is not mandatory. So my stance on anything like this is helping people to tune in to what they need and what is right for them in any given moment. I do have a background in nutrition, but I also, I always take the holistic stance that trying to sort of yank out certain foods from people's diet, if they're not in the space mentally and emotionally, will cause more stress and toxicity in the body.
Yes, and I've been there too, where I said, listen, don't drink coffee and don't drink alcohol, and I tried to force things like that. And although I'm on the side that that's what ultimately you want to do, it doesn't make sense to try to force that in anybody's life.
Yeah, for sure. So where I come in is reuniting people with their inner being. So is strengthening the communication lines between their higher self and their lower self. Because essentially that's what it is, right? You know, cravings and all of these things. So once we can find alignment and sort of check back in every day in a way that, you know, we're not always going to be in alignment 24 hours a day, but if we have some kind of daily practice where we're just checking in, we're grounding in, and we're sort of settling into who we really are and all of that, and meditation,
daily
just to form those.
Daily practice. I think that's very important advice there. And I love what you said about all of these things kind of being a little bit of a separation from your authentic being.
Sure. Yeah. And when, again, I write about it in my book, how my higher self has taken me through a journey with food, with different types of diets, and it's happened extremely organically. And I mean, there are times when I've written quite candidly in the book how there are times where I fought it, and it was really hard for me to sort of let go. But I knew, and I won't go into it all now, but I went from dropping coffee, dropping red meat, white meat and fish, and I've gone all the way to sort of vegan now, 99% vegan. But the overarching message I would give around this, and this is something that I promote and I facilitate in my retreats and with clients and the community, is that we mustn't forget that at our very nature we are also animals, and we are also we are pleasure seeking beings, okay? And food, as well as sex, as well as many other activities, are there to help us and support us with reuniting with our divine natures. So during my retreats, I conduct cacao ceremonies. So we use the beautiful locally grown organic raw cacao powder to mix up a gorgeous cacao drink. And we use that to work through the heart chakra, open up any blocks, and it's bringing us into that, just that bliss state. And any food, any activity, anything that is in alignment with each individual can have that effect. So I'm all about, because for many of us, it was true for me, and I've been through eating disorders as well. And again, it's a long story, but the key point that I'd like to share right now, genuinely fall back in love with myself, was the moment my body went, snapped right back into its authentic state. It was almost overnight. And so self-love is a big mess. Alignment with detoxing or all the things that you mentioned, but for me it has to come first. We cannot talk about health and wellness unless we talk about self-love. Awesome. As well.
Awesome message.
I get off my soapbox now.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's about loving the self. It's about loving the self, isn't it? It's about learning how to love the self.
Yes. And through that we can trust.
Our highest frequency is love. So we want to come back into alignment with our higher self, our highest frequency.
Yeah. Yes. And through that, we can trust our choices. We can learn to trust our own choices. Yeah.
Very nice. So it is all about choosing. Everyone is free to choose to create whatever they wish. You know, anyone can choose to create a world of fear or a world of opportunity. And that's a change in the way we look at our world. And all of us can choose to engage in the fear that's around us, or we can choose to engage with the powerful, loving, infinite wisdom within us. That's a choice.
We can choose.
That's a choice.
It is a choice, but I will also say that, 100% it's a choice. But I'm always for the people. I see in the spiritual community, I'm just going to say it, maybe spiritual snobbery, maybe there's this expectation that everyone's supposed to be ascended and pure and perfect and have everything in check. And I'm always for the people. I'm not saying that we can't. I also like to talk about the truth of how challenging it can be.
Wonderful. Feminine energy, bringing it back to
how can I
the real, to the real ground, to the real personal route that everyone has to walk through. Because
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
journey,
Otherwise,
has been
we
very
end up.
uncomfortable at times.
Yes, mine too. Mine too.
It-
And I
it's
want people to know that they're not broken, they're just transforming. I really want people to know this, because otherwise we end up with mislabeled mental health issues, mismedicated mental health issues.
Mhm.
We end up with people feeling worthless and broken. And what good is that? We need people, even in their transforming state, upgrading, which is a process, it's ongoing, we never get it done. We need people to be able to stand up and continue to live, not only vibrate on a high level, but to spread that out into the world. Because there are a lot of light workers, a lot of healers, a lot of coaches, a lot of mentors, a lot of public speakers in these arenas who I think that piece of information may have been missing from their playbook. And I want to bring it back. I want to bring it back really strong.
Every single one of us has value. Every single one of us has important value and importance here. Every single one of us has a message, a voice, an energy, a frequency that we need to bring forward. And so just because we're working through an upgrade or a transformation or a challenge or a difficulty in our life, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong. It doesn't mean we need to go to the doctor and get a medication.
100%. Yes, that's correct.
Right? You know, we can take charge of that ourselves. We can manage our health, even though we may feel at the moment that we are weak and helpless and uncertain of what we can do, or feeling like powerless or out of control. It's not true. Although we may feel like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes we can't go with our feelings. Sometimes we can't let our feelings overwhelm us. Sometimes we have to override our feelings with our choice, with our decision.
Yeah.
I think everyone needs to know the power that they have within themselves. I think it's very important that people recognize that they have this type of power within themselves. The same power that you're using, Maria, is the same power that I am using. Would you agree? An unfortunate connection this morning, a connection loss, it seems like now, with Maria Kay. It's troubling because she has so much valuable energy and information that I think so many need to hear. I hope that we will be able to connect with her again. Maria, I'm going to suggest that we try to connect again, and maybe not right now, because just because of the way our schedules are. But I've loved our engagement today, even though it's been very broken. I can see the value of your message and your energy and your frequency and your feminine energy, and I would love to share you and your energy with my network again. So I will reach out to you again another time, not in the not too distant future, and we will hopefully have a more uninterrupted communication.
Yes. Yes, of course. Let's do that. Yeah.
Awesome. I would love to also please send me the links associated with your book, because I want to showcase anything that you're doing. I know you mentioned that you've got a retreat that you do in India. Wonderful. I would love to get information about that. I'd love to share information about that. I'd love to share any information that you have regarding your book and your teachings, and anything that you've got upcoming. So please send that through to us. We'll put that on our page, Alkalize to Realize. I'll share that on my page and with my network as well too. I want to put you out there in any way that I can. Is there anything else that you would like to say today, Maria, before we say goodbye?
Wonderful. Giving this platform to these messages, to these reminders for us all. And thank you for what you're doing, your wonderful work in the world. I have many free gifts available on my website.
Let's get your website. Let's get your website up and out there.
From free meditations to free webinars on all of the topics. It's videos. It's a playground really that you can go and have fun with. And what better time to do that if you're
a wonderful time to be working on some projects that are
I say immerse yourself, everybody, in personal growth,
a great time to be working on personal growth, and necessary time to be working on personal growth.
Yeah, come out the other end. Well, thank you so much. I'd love to. Yes.
See you later, Maria. We'll talk again soon. Bye-bye.